tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on the channel where I'll reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it, but more importantly, asking for yours. The transfer window has slammed open. That's right. The January transfer window is open and Chelsea are ready for business, baby. Whether it be outgoings, incomings, the owners, sporting directors and coaching staff are all agreed in terms of business needs to be done. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing about a certain French central defender that everybody wants, or certainly three big Premier League teams want, including Chelsea, and a striker from Girona. That's right, out in La Liga, currently fighting for a title level on points, I think, with Real Madrid at the top of the league table. Is that Ukraine international the correct decision for Chelsea in terms of profile of striker? Is he the only available one, really, that's good at the moment? Of course, everyone's talking about Ivan Toney of Brentford, who may have to stay at Brentford because they could be in a relegation fight, and Mbeumo's injured, their striker, and of course Viss is going to AFCON, so that could be Toney out, and Arsenal want him anyway. Osimhen's just signed a new deal with a massive release clause, maybe he won't leave to the summer, and if Chelsea want to fight for, I don't know, Europa League finish in the Premier League and try and win both domestic cups, which they have a good chance of doing, maybe they feel like they need to buy a striker now. Pochettino feels that. So yeah, we're going to get into that today. I want to take a second and thank you all for joining me, to whether you're an OG of the Football Therapy community and been watching me for years, or whether you're a newcomer, who of course are most welcome. I want to thank you for joining me, thank you for your support, and promise you that this year, 2024, is going to have some great content coming your way. Daily videos here, of course, on the channel, so yeah, stick around, do subscribe if you want to. If you choose to, make sure you hit the bell and turn those noties on so you don't miss a beat. And thank you for liking the video as well, that means a lot. It supports the content apparently. So that being said, let's get into it. So before we get into centre-back territory, where I'm going to give you some stats and data, let's talk about strikers. We're going to cite an article now from the Mirror to get some information about the Ukraine international playing for Girona that could be coming to Chelsea. Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino is looking to strengthen his squad this month, and Girona striker Artem Dovbyk, hope I'm saying that right, is on their radar. The Ukraine international has been in excellent form for Girona this season, scoring 11 goals and providing 5 assists in 17 La Liga appearances. Boy, that is good. Dovbyk has played a crucial role in Girona's stunning success, with the club currently second in the league table, only behind on goal difference from Real Madrid, who are first. And according to the report from The Sun, Dovbyk is high on Chelsea's wish list and has been watched by their scouts in recent weeks. Pochettino is said to have been impressed by his physical profile and wants to add him to provide competition for Nicholas Jackson. Off the bat, I know this is being cited by The Sun, but Chelsea scouts were almost certainly watching this striker. Of course, like I said, they've been top of La Liga pretty much for the whole of this first half of the domestic campaign. Chelsea scouts are all over the gaff looking for a striker, so it kind of checks out. We'll talk about Armando Broja as well in a little bit, but let's read on. Jackson has been Chelsea's main striker this season, following a £32 million move from Villarreal over the summer, but with the 22-year-old set to miss several games due to his involvement with Senegal at the African Cup of Nations, the Blues need reinforcements. The report states that Dovbyk is valued at around £39 million by Girona and have the same agent as current Chelsea star Mykhailo Mudryk, with the pair said to be close friends who, quote, talk every single day. Well, that would be certainly helpful if this is a player we are genuinely interested in and the Chelsea manager Pochettino thinks will make us better, which, let's be honest, we need to be better. Then having a friend in the camp in Mykhailo Mudryk could be very helpful in terms of bringing him to southwest London. I mean, these things do count. The potential arrival of Dovbyk could also spell the end of Armando Broja's time at Stamford Bridge, as the 22-year-old has made just 5 Premier League starts this season and has been linked with the likes of Inter Milan and West Ham. Yeah, but he has been injured as well, Armando Broja. That's a little bit unfair. I think Pochettino does like Broja, but my issue here is I think Nicholas Jackson is probably Well, he's definitely good enough to be Chelsea's second striker. I do genuinely believe that. And out of the other strikers, or the other striker, Jackson looks more comfortable playing out wide. Of course, he was a winger, so if a striker comes on, or you can play two strikers easier, I think, with Jackson. And Jackson could become good enough to be Chelsea's number one day. He's 22 years old, he's scored a few goals, he's shown value, he's shown he needs to grow up and develop as well, but I think he'd be a great second striker in terms of second choice striker. And who knows, he might even become first choice eventually. But right now, you know, you'd think Chelsea needs something else. And when it comes to Breuer, it's really, really tough because he needs, I think, I wouldn't sell him, I'd send him on a loan again, not to a Southampton, to a little bit of a more high-profile club where I wouldn't play him in a two-striker system. I'd want to see him play as a central number 9, because that's how Chelsea are going to play moving forwards, almost certainly. So go and send him to a club where he plays as a lone striker, let him develop there, see if he can score a lot of goals, and then go from there, really. I don't think... Well, let me know what you think about Armand de Breuer in the comments below. Pochettino is set to have an active role in Chelsea's transfer business this month. He says this, quote, "It's obvious that the head coach or manager, is crazy to think he won't be involved in any decisions for the future in my area. Of course we will share with the owners, the sporting directors, and I cannot conceive the idea of not being involved. It's not only my advice, it's about how we are sharing with the owners and the sporting directors. There is good communication, we talk every single day, we will take decisions because we are all agreed. For me, it's more about being consistent. That is the challenge with the players that we have and also how we need to improve." Yeah, some words from Pochettino there, because it has been up in the air and we've heard conflicting reports of how much he's going to be involved in the transfer window. Like, is it all going to be above him? Is he going to get this new desired control? But is there even a new desired control? Is there a story here? Or has it been the same all along, that he does sort of have offer advice to the sporting directors? And to be honest, whether it's the Chelsea owners or sporting directors, they need to look how things have gone so far. And if it has just been them making decisions, and Chelsea finished mid-table last season and we're currently mid-table, maybe they need to self-evaluate, have a little bit of lucidity and go, maybe we should ask the manager what he thinks. Pochettino seems to think it's all fine, that there's good communication, so with that we can sort of think, okay, it's going to be okay, guys. It's going to be okay, right? Anyway, if you've watched Girona this season in La Liga and you know much about Artem, the Ukraine international, scoring goals, making assists, looking pretty good, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, feelings and opinions on that. I'll be very interested in learning a little bit more. Of course, if this story develops, I'll do more of a deep dive and get back to you with a little bit more hard data, which is about to follow for centre-back. So let me know what you think, comment down below on the striker situation, and let's move on and talk about the defence. Now, Chelsea are being linked to Jean-Claire Todibo, the France international who plays for Nice, and we're going to look at some stats from him in just a moment. But it's not just Chelsea who is after him, it's Manchester United and Tottenham. They are the clubs in the Premier League who want him. Of course, Manchester United are a bit all over the gaff, and they were playing like Luke Shaw at centre-back, and is Varane good enough, and what's going on with Harry Maguire and Lindelof. Apparently they're extending his deal, but maybe their defence is just a bit all over the gaff at the moment. We all know that Tottenham need centre-backs because they're literally not playing any centre-backs at the moment due to injuries. Of course, Romero's out injured. They were playing, Davies and Emerson as a centre-back partnership, which is mental. They'd force four full-backs along the back. They desperately need a centre-back, so you can imagine they'll be going in pretty hard. But Chelsea have a lot of right-footed centre-backs. Yeah, this is kind of a strange one for me, but there's lots of recurring news around headlines, around different publications. Foot McCarter recently spoke about it today or yesterday, saying that Chelsea are not happy with their defence and want to buy a new player. But we have just bought a French centre-back right-footer from the French league in Axel Disasi. We've got so many French centre-backs actually. We've got loads of French defenders. We've got Wesley Fofana, Benoit Badiashile, Malo Gusto, Disasi, making a whole French back line there. What makes me raise an eyebrow here is it's such a similar profile, or at least in theory a similar profile to Axel Disasi, who by the way has played all the time. And I guess if Chelsea, and I guess that means Pochettino, is really not happy with his central defence, he's only playing Disasi out of a total actual necessity. Before we get into this, I really want to reiterate and nail my colours to the Wesley Fofana mast. I think he's so, and this is another right-footed French centre-back, young centre-back. I think he's so good. I'm not going to go into it. Chelsea spent £69 million on him, and I thought that was a bargain. So that really gives you my opinion on the matter, because they wanted him to be a world record fee for a centre-back. Maguire was 80, they wanted him to be 85 plus. We got him for 69 million. I think that was excellent for Wesley Fofana. He's such a good young player. I think he'd really suit Mauricio Pochettino, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Pochettino's done loads of analysis on him in terms of previous data, looked at his body measurements and stuff and thought, nah, this guy's not for me, which would blow my fragile little mind. But let's look at some data now. So as you can see, Jean-Claire Todibo is a 24-year-old French centre-back. He fits that profile just under 25 that Chelsea are doing. I wonder how old Disasi was. Maybe he was just 25 when we bought him. Anyway, Todibo is 192 centimetres tall, 88 kilograms, and of course right-footed. As you can see on his heat map here on the right-hand side, he's very much a right-sided, right-footed centre-back, so I guess he'd be playing instead of Axel Disasi at the moment. xvalue.ai shows you his stats here. He's very strong at passing, recoveries, aerials and carries. Of course, he's not an offensive centre-back, no assists, no shooting, but in terms of defending and passing, very strong indeed. At 62, that's a pretty strong SPR rating at the top of the graphic there. Moving on to the next graphic I want to show you, this is what xValue calls him a build-up initiator, which is an important element of how your team plays from the back. Now, as you can see in this polar chart here, he is very strong at progressive passes, expected threat from passes, which is really important in terms of building up attacks from the back. Passes per 100 touches, he's very strong indeed, and pass percentage as well. So in these metrics, he's very strong. And although his aerial win percentage isn't very strong, all this type of build-up, initiation and passing is very strong indeed. So what do we learn from this? Well, Axel Disasi is strong in the air. I mean, on the face of it, it's very frustrating because you go, well, we've got just Disasi who's playing all the time on that side, same age profile, coming from the same league, you know, he's right-footed as well. Like, why are you buying another one just months later? You wanted this guy, like, what's happening here? This is all going to cost money. Have you used him a bit and said, yeah, we're forced to use him all the time, Disasi, but I don't like it. And to be honest, like, I'm not a football manager, maybe that's true. You know, looking at Toledo's stats there, he's very strong in terms of build-up metrics. And maybe Pochettino has just assessed this Chelsea team and says, right, we just don't score goals properly because we're not building up in the appropriate way. We need to build up in a way that the players are, you know, not just passing around the final third area where we've transitioned quicker because of the build-up from the centre-backs. Maybe he's looked at it like that and think that's the solution, and this is what we can get from a new defender here. Just realised I was saying his name wrong. It's Todibo, I believe. Either way, I've not watched him play before. I'm going to be honest, I'm just looking at his metrics and his stats off the bat here. Like I said, if this, like everything else, if this story percolates more and we get closer towards signing him, we'll look a little bit closer and I'll give you the juice. But I want to put it out to you guys. What do you think? Many of us will think, well, a striker's a priority. A lot of people will be of the church of the midfield's not functioning in the right way, so therefore we're not, you know, protecting certain elements of transition. I think everyone would agree Chelsea's biggest problem is lacking maturity. For example, the Luton game is a perfect example of that. Chelsea were 3-0 up, should have gone 4-0 up, and we ended up hanging on for 3-2. Granted, signing Todibo would be another mid-20s player, maybe like better than signing an early 20s player. Is that enough experience? You know, Thiago Silva was shaking his head at the end of that Luton game, like, what happened here at the end of the game? I don't know. I'm really interested in your opinions, so make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. Of course, as all stories develop and come up, we'll react to them here on the channel, so remember to subscribe if you want to, and I look forward to seeing you back here very soon. Thanks for joining us, guys. Take care of yourselves, and once again, Happy New Year. Peace.